Hello? 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 Testing? Testing? Trying to see, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yep, and you can't see me because they're showing the thing, but once they
Good evening, everyone. Today is September 25th, 2023, and I will call this meeting to order by first reading the public charge. Board of Commissioners asks its members and citizens to conduct themselves in a respectful, courteous manner, both with the board and fellow citizens. At any time, should any member of the board or any citizen fail to observe this public charge, the chair will ask the offending person to leave the meeting until that individual regains control. Should decorum fail to be restored, the chair will recess the meeting until such time that a genuine commitment to the public charge is observed. Will stand with us, and Commissioner Burns, if you will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Alam and Commissioner Jacobs is joining us by Zoom. Just to let you know, they are. So, are there any agenda adjustments, commissioners? Hearing none, we'll move on to our announcements. And Ms. Wallace, if you will read our announcement.
Good evening, Commissioners, and to the public. I'll read the announcements that are published in our agenda this evening. Durham County voters can cast their ballots during the 2023 municipal primary election early voting period from September 21st until October 7th. You can cast your ballot early at any of the 5 early voting locations: North Regional, East Regional, Durham County Main Library, South Regional, and North Carolina Central University, Turner Law Building. Get the early voting schedule and locations on the Durham County Board of Elections flyer, which is located on our website. Election day for the 2023 municipal primary election is Tuesday, October 10th. The deadline is Thursday, September 28th to apply to be a part of the 2023 Durham City County Planning Academy from the City County Planning Department. Gain tools and know how to fully participate in local development and planning, and earn a Planning Academy certificate upon completion. 5 weekly sessions are held from October 19th to November 11th, and you can apply online. Durham Med Week. Join Durham County, the City of Durham, and other partners for Durham Minority Enterprise Development Med Week, encouraging change and breaking barriers. Durham's Med Week is a series of educational outreach and recognition events that commemorate the achievements of minority entrepreneurs and affirms government, business, and community organizations' commitment to the practice of equal opportunity. The Med Week Business Fair will be from 4 to 7 p.m. on October 5th, and Med Week Sessions and Luncheon is scheduled on October 6th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. More information and registration is online. The Durham Local Reentry Council, LRC, is hosting a resource fair on Wednesday, September 27th from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the Justice Service Department building located at 326 East Main Street. This free event is open to everyone. Several local agencies will be on hand to give information and answer questions about their services and programs available to those in need. It is also a great way for residents to build connections with these organizations. There is a link to learn additional information. Every September and October, groups from across Durham volunteer to pick up litter in their local neighborhoods, parks, and streams for Durham's largest litter cleanup event of the year. Big Sweep is coordinated by Keep Durham Beautiful, the City of Durham, Stormwater and GIS Services Division, and the Durham County Soil and Water Conservation District, with help from other city and county departments and many other partners. Registration for an already created event, register for an already created event or sign up to hold one of your own, and there is a. The Durham Forest is holding its 16th hunting season through the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission Deer Management Assistance Program from Monday, September 25th through Friday, December 15th. During this time, the Durham, Horston, and Blackwood divisions of the Duke Forest will be closed to all public access for all recreation Monday through Friday. All divisions of the forest except Daily will be open on Saturdays and Sundays for normal use. The program will be suspended and the forest open for recreational use on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 22nd, November 23rd, and the 24th. The Edburn and Hillsborough divisions will remain open as usual throughout the fall. There is a link for additional information about the program. The Durham County Sheriff's Office has its latest edition of its Star Talk podcast available for residents. In the fifth edition, Durham County Sheriff Clarence Burkhead discusses the Durham County Sheriff's Office Animal Services Division with Captain Mark Manning, who oversees its operation. There is a link for you to listen online. And lastly, Duke Energy will hold a 2-day virtual student career conference on your yard on Thursday, October 5th from 4 till 8 p.m. and Friday, October 6th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Discover potential careers at Duke Energy, paid internships, and co-op programs. You must RSVP through the link by Friday, September 29th. And you can also email campussteam@duke-energy.com for additional questions. That concludes the announcements that are published in our agenda.
Wallace. Other announcements? There's one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Well, first of all, I wanted to say Shana Tova, Happy New Year to everyone in our community who is celebrating the Yom Kippur holiday today and the High Holy Days, which began with Rosh Hashanah and today with the Yom Kippur holiday. So Happy New Year to everyone who is observing this holiday in our community. I also want to say Happy Pride. Even though we all got rained out on Saturday, I really appreciate our equitable well-being director, Brent Lewis, who was rallying us all, and I know we were going to have a great turnout from Durham County government. So I know we will be back in force again next year. And I also want to note that this past week in Durham was something called the Bull City Summit. Some of us were able to stop by and attend some of those activities, but it was really an amazing uh, meeting, festival. I'm not sure how to categorize it, but very rooted in our community with all kinds of speakers on issues ranging from music and the arts to technology and business and innovation. But one of the coolest things about it is that it was co-sponsored with one of our wonderful nonprofits in Durham, Families and Children Rising, who runs our Early Head Start and More at Four programs here in Durham and throughout our region. They were really the fiscal agent, and so there was a lot of programming that really lifted up issues around early childhood, which we know is such a priority for us in Durham County government. So I hope that we can continue as a community to support also Bull City Summit moving forward. And lastly, I just wanted to comment on the budget that was passed. We know the good news is that Medicaid expansion is finally been adopted, and more than 600,000 people in our state are now going to finally have access to behavioral mental health care. and we don't know the exact numbers here in Durham, but it's at least 30 to 40,000 people. It's going to be a big lift for us to roll this out by December 1st, but our DSS leadership is already working on this. We talked about it at our DSS meeting last week, and you all will be hearing more about it so that we can make sure that this is successful for us in Durham County. So just wanted to highlight those things, and I will stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Mr. Burns.
Hello. Okay. This is we have new microphones, so my apologies. So Wendy got mine. I thought I waited because I knew she was probably going to do Yom Kippur. So, but she got mine with the Medicaid expansion. So I had three, but I'm down to two. If you have not had a chance, I'm happy that she mentioned the budget. Some of us were there till midnight the other night, and we did see how crazy it got. I don't have a list. Perhaps we can get one going, but Senator Murdoch sent out an email that itemized everything that Durham got in the budget. There's some random things that I didn't even know that some of our nonprofits were able to get. So if you haven't taken a look, it's a $30 billion budget. We didn't get a bunch. We got, $10,000 for Meals on Wheels, $10,000 for the Durham Success Summit. There was some things that might have been left, even though we worked really hard. So I'm super excited that we kind of sort of move forward, and we're going to have somebody to partner with our wonderful Deborah Craig Ray, a lobbyist, to move forward and get some dollars. But some of our nonprofits got $5 million, $1 million, $3 million. So if you do get a chance, the budget is horrible, but Durham did get a few things. And my last one was about the mug shot. I know nobody wants to go to jail, but in the event you have ever wanted a mug shot, you can go down to Durham Public Library. I invite you to come to North Regional Library, because as we look around the nation and people are banning books and even burning books, here in Durham, we're taking mug shots with all the banned books. So as a member of the Board of Trustees of the library, I invite you all to come to North Regional Library and Main Library, hold up a picture of Their Eyes Were Watching God, or I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, or a myriad of other books that were written by Black women, and take a mug shot with me. Thank you so very much. We will be doing that until September 30th. Thank you.
Well, I am really, really pleased about the budget, about Medicaid expansion as well.
Right.
One of the initiatives that we've been attempted to work on has to do with mental health in the community. And we've been waiting for DHHS to give us the go-ahead on that, and hopefully we will be able to get some traction around that. It's all in the devil's in the details. No other announcements. There's one that I have. The neighborhood college attendees. We have neighborhood college attendees here. Nick, Jenny. How do you pronounce that? So Nick, would you stand up? Okay. Welcome, Jenny. And then there's Melinda, Spencer. If you're all here, stand up and be recognized. Here. Yes.
I would like to say something now that I know we have neighborhood college representatives here. Weird.
I know, we're all trying to get used to these.
I had the distinct privilege and pleasure of welcoming the neighborhood college this year, because both you and everyone was out of town but me, so I got to do that, and it was a very heartwarming experience listening to these two residents and all the residents explain why they wanted to be there and how much they loved Durham and cared, and it really shone through. They also talked about their favorite smell and sound, which was really fun, really funny icebreaker, but we learned a lot about one another. Anyway, it's an awesome program. Thanks to our staff in public affairs, Dawn, and the rest of the team for putting on just a wonderful opportunity for residents. And thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm sorry you don't have our full cadre, two people are attending virtually, but we are happy that we have this hybrid opportunity now. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Carter, for being here to do that. And, you know, county government covers so many areas that very difficult sometimes for our citizens to understand all of the different things that we do. And for you to take on learning that was pretty amazing. It wasn't just the county, it was the city as well. Yeah, awesome. So congratulations for taking that on. Great. Any other hands? We have minutes, commissioners, we have minutes before us for September the 11th, 2023, regular session minutes. Are there any edits or additions to those minutes? Hearing-
Second.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so I can't remember. They can, Zoom can say aye, can vote. Okay, so it was 4, did I hear Netta?
Yes, I voted aye.
Okay, it was 5-0, motion passes. All right.
Sorry, I'm not on camera. I don't look as nice as Wendy right now.
What was that?
Didn't have
Okay. All right, our next item is our ceremonial items. The first ceremonial item is a proclamation, Minority Enterprise Development Week, October through 6th. Board is requested to recognize October 2nd through the 6th as Minority Enterprise Development Week. November 8th, 2000, Board of County Commissioners, Claudia Hutton, to minority sponsor vote that minority and women business. Says, read the proclamation, and I know that Emmy. Sure. So, minority enterprise development, whereas it is policy of Durham that purchasing by the practice all people and free discrimination on the basis of race and gender, and whereas diverse entrepreneurship encourages progress toward innovative problem of economic growth, supports the promise of thriving that embrace inclusion and a better life. Whereas the Durham County Minority and Women Enterprise dash provides minorities and women equal opportunity to participate in all county's programs, including not limited to employment, construction projects, and or real service contract with law. Whereas PS 143-2128 provides for good faith aid, sure their participation, minority and women owners, all projects. And whereas according to economic policy research, act of the COVID-19 staggering drop, 32% decline Black owners, 26 owners, and high production. And whereas the county minority and development, whereas Minority Development recognize that strong American minority they raise overcome adversity. Now, therefore, I, Brenda Howard, Chair of the Board of on behalf of the claim Minority Enterprise Development Durham.
Good evening. I'm Tammy Hall, Assistant County Manager, and I am here today with Hub Coordinator Nadia Phillips. Thank you so much for this recognition. All over the country, many states and local municipalities will be celebrating minority businesses. In Durham, of course, we will be celebrating these businesses as well. Since 1983, President Reagan began this national celebration, and each president has acknowledged this celebration since that time. So this is special, and we are excited about what will be happening here in Durham on next week. As you heard earlier, we have a business fair that is set up Thursday evening. And then we're most excited about the program on Friday. We will begin at 8:30 a.m. with opening State of Durham from our very own Chair Howerton. We'll be looking for you. We're excited to hear the message. And we will continue with a luncheon that will be shepherded by our own county manager, who will lead that conversation with us. We're bringing in a fabulous speaker that will cheer us all on and get us all excited about the work that we're doing with minority businesses, which you all know, I truly believe, are the heartbeats in our communities. They are the engines that drive economic prosperity. So I am extremely excited. We have closed out sponsorships this evening. I am delighted to tell you we have over 23 sponsors for Medweek. Yeah, we're over 40,000 is what she tells me. And you guys, this was 2 weeks. Just think if we had 3 months or 6 months to be out fundraising. And, this is a huge testament to the businesses here in Durham that are celebrating minority business in conjunction with the county. We are partnering with the city. And so this is just a huge effort. We have all worked extremely hard over the last 3 weeks. We've worked extremely hard to pull this all together. So we're excited. It's a tag team effort, and to all of our businesses, corporations that are in this with us, we thank you. We thank you very much for coming forth and showing your support of these businesses as well.
To see y'all there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioners? Me? Commissioner Burns?
My first one is a question, because I know we've all been promoting it so much, and you have so many sponsors. Is registration closed? Because I know your number is pretty high now. So for the public that might be excited, have we closed, or is the portal still open?
So we have closed sponsorships,
But not
not
attendance.
registration. We're open.
Wonderful. Okay.
We're still open. I think we had somewhere close to 200 that are registered, but we know that it's a free event, so
Right.
not everyone will get a chance to attend.
Right.
They have good intentions. And so we will make sure that we afford each and every one that wants to attend the opportunity to do so.
Cool beans. So the other thing I wanted to do, just special shout out to Tammy, special shout out to this board, to the manager, to everybody who's done some of this work, to my colleagues. There are whole counties that if you say diversity, equity, inclusion, minority, you would think minority is like a cuss word. It really, when Tammy came to the state government, she came in guns blazing. I work for the state. I've seen her be able to shut down bids when women couldn't even get access to stepping through a room. I've walked with her down the street in Charlotte, and somebody said, Tammy Hall does not work at Walk in Charlotte. I was happy because I didn't want to walk, but she said no, we was gonna walk. This is fine, but there's so much respect for this woman. When Joe Biden decided that he wanted to start the Minority Business Development Agency again, they were trying to figure out what states would have them. Tammy put in an application, said, well, North Carolina doesn't have one. And there were some people, we won't call their names because we don't like them, who did not want Tammy to get. Well, Joe Biden wanted her to have it, so she got it. And so where's the Minority Business Development Agency? It's not in Raleigh. It's not in Charlotte. It's in Durham. And so then, luckily enough, the manager was smart enough, she stole Tammy from the governor. We appreciate the governor's not happy about it. But just know we put a professional face on this program because we're not playing games. Now, there are a lot of people who are going to say things like, oh, you do minority business development stuff all the time, and people make promises all the time. This is a different group of people. So you can either get on the bus, get on this train with these folks, and get access to some of this capital. I'm going to stop right here, but I do want folks to know y'all are sitting in this chamber for this meeting. But since Tammy has been here, we've opened up this chamber to build our Board of Elections, for the MWB outreach, for that construction project that was in here. When we were having a contractor procurement meeting for the city, for the county, for Duke University, for the airport, that meeting was in here. We're not letting folks throw a rock and hide their hand. So if you're about the business of, making sure everybody has a equal seat at the table, we're building that table. We hope everybody will be a part of it. So I hope that we can see you next week. This is not a one-off. This is not performative allyship. And I hope you all will come on this ride with us.
Thank you so much. You and your great work. And this is something that Durham County has been committed to a long, long time. And to have you step into space, really appreciate. And we look forward to doing a lot of stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next proclamation as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Durham Board is requested to proclaim October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Durham Crisis Response Center provides comprehensive shelter and support services to survivors of domestic, sexual, and family violence and human trafficking and their families in the Durham area. DRC's continuum of service and emergency shelter, crisis intervention, information and and we'll have some comments.
Durham Board of County Commissioners Proclamation, Domestic Violence Awareness Month 2023. Whereas the safety, security, physical, and emotional well-being of our neighbors affects the lives of everyone in our community, we recognize that domestic violence takes a variety of forms and believe all individuals have the right to live their best and fullest lives free of violence and fear. And whereas we recognize that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men report experiencing physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence is a serious preventable public health concern involving the manipulation of power and control, including willful intimidation, physical and sexual assault, emotional and financial abuse, and other abusive behavior. And whereas anyone can be a victim of intimate partner violence, regardless of gender, age, race, socioeconomic status, ability, or relationship choice. We believe that everyone deserves a life free of violence, regardless of gender identification, ethnicity, ability, age, religion, or social status. And whereas we recognize that the crime of domestic violence impacts victims, families, and societies, can lead to long-term health problems, missed days of work, and loss of employment, psychological distress, family instability, and homelessness, and increased risk of future violence. And whereas ending domestic violence starts with awareness and education, changing social norms about gender and violence, and mobilizing our community, including men, boys, our faith institutions, the public and private sectors. Now, therefore, I, Brenda Howerton, Chair, And on the behalf of the Durham Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Durham County. We urge all who engage with youth to teach and model respect, consent, and healthy relationships. We encourage government, health professionals, law enforcement, faith communities, and civic organizations to ensure an inclusive environment that supports survivors of domestic violence and sustains their efforts to rebuild their lives without violence in Durham. We are strongly committed to working with all partners so that every individual can access appropriate and affirming resources to address and end violence in our communities. This the 25th day of September 2023.
The Board of Commissioners, citizenry of the county, for this proclamation of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All Durham crisis response of meeting of silent walk Durham this Monday.
Thank you. Thank you so
Tally.
much. Comment?
I didn't get his name.
Damian Tally.
Okay, all right, that was all. And my only comment, one, thank you all for the work you do. Mine will be quick. I know we're coming off the summer, and we always see very high crime numbers in the summer, right? So people think about robbery, they think about assaults, they think about burglary. When I was at the AG's office, I authored the domestic violence homicide report. Every domestic violence incident doesn't end with, a call to the police in the hospital. Some people don't make it out. And one of the things that we were able to find out was people die closer to the holidays. So we are coming up on the holiday season. We saw higher deaths from domestic violence in November, December, January, and February. Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day. So I just implore the citizenry, the residents, if you see, it's like the airport, if you see something, say something. On average, it takes 7 times for a woman to leave a domestic violence situation. What they don't add to that is you have to survive 7 times. So,
Absolutely.
just
To add to that, Durham Crisis Response Center is to counseling, crisis services, case management, shelter, is here. It's
Mr. Jacob?
Thank you. Damien, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing us this proclamation and for the work that you're doing. I wanted to request that we add this to our announcements, what Damien has just shared about the reading of the names on Monday, October 2nd at 8 a.m. at 101 East Morgan Street, so that we can make sure the community knows about this event. And also to for people to know that we have a family justice center. I think we did the ribbon cutting, was it about a year ago, Damien?
It was,
Do you know what the
actually
exact
April
date was?
24th,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, it's been recent.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that the community knows that there is help, that you can go to the Family Justice Center and walk in the door and get all kinds of help. And maybe, Damien, you could just share a little bit about the services that are available at the Family Justice Center.
Absolutely. At the Durham Family Center, stated counsel, case management, legal advocacy, help, protective order. Also, community partner, Durham Sheriff's Office. The Durham Family Center as a one-stop shop survivor. Community like also it's coming into the available. See something, say something. Commissioner stated the fall and see in violent survivors.
Thank you.
Yes, I also wanted to thank you, Mr. Talley, for the important work that you do. I know you were sitting with someone in the audience. Is that your friend or is it someone who works at the center as well? Just want to be sure.
It's very my wife.
Okay. I thought it was possible it could be one or the other, but I want to be sure I acknowledged your wife. Thank you so much for supporting him in the important work that he does. I am looking forward to participating in the reading of the names. I know it will be a grim sort of gathering and ceremony, but I'm looking forward to being there. Thank you for inviting us and making us aware of it. I also want to see you in your new location. I haven't visited since you've been there, so okay, so we're looking forward to that. And I took a quick glance at your website before this meeting. It's really impressive. It's easy to navigate, very friendly. I could tell that it would be super helpful for someone in the community who needed the resources and the services that you provide. Easy to navigate, and you help a lot of people, a lot of different people who have experienced different kinds of trauma. Thank you.
Commissioner Long?
Thank you. Damien, thank you so much for all your work, and thank you for inviting me, and I know you've invited the other commissioners for touring the facility one-on-one. I would love for you to also highlight, like to Commissioner Burns's point, that not all domestic violence incidents lead to a police report being filed, but the importance of the spaces that you have within the Family Justice Center, of where there's actually a police officer and a sheriff's deputy's office space for individuals who want a safe space to be able to sit and file a report. That is available, correct, in the Family Justice Center?
Ma'am, but on a limited basis. I don't want to.
Yeah, but just make that aware, so oftentimes people can feel scared, rightfully so, to go to the police station or the sheriff's department to file a report, but knowing that there's another space that they can do that safely and with support is really important. And also, I know our board submitted a letter of support for a grant that y'all had applied for. I'd love whenever you guys receive an update about the status of that. Really hoping that you were able to receive that. If you can provide us a report whenever you have an update. Thank you.
With us to expand our more and get all in.
Allie, we appreciate you and your team and your wife. A year ago, I remember it was a year ago, but 1 year in the last couple of years, I had the opportunity to read names. And I tell you, it was very impactful. Very impactful. Read the people that had been killed over the last year. I think the one that was the hardest to read was the woman that was in their 90s that found. I know that the work that you step in that things like that. Thank you. Our next proclamation, commissioners, let's see, where is Commissioner Carter? And that's Hispanic Heritage Month. Board is requested to proclaim September 15th through October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in Durham County. This observance is annually celebrated and recognized as the rich and varied cultures of Hispanic Americans and the contribution that they have made to the United States. Carter, you will read that one.
Yes, I'd love to read it. I'd love to read it in Spanish, but unfortunately, I never took it. I really, really wish I had. It would be very appropriate to have this in Spanish. It feels a little odd that we have it here in English. I know we're working hard to get more language access, working hard on language equity here in the county, and I apologize for my shortcomings when I mispronounce some Spanish words probably within this proclamation, and I really do wish I could read it in Spanish. But it's a lovely proclamation. Here it is. Durham County Board of Commissioners Proclamation, National Hispanic Heritage Month 2023. Whereas National Hispanic Heritage Month, known as Mes de la Herencia Hispana, is celebrated from September 15th to October 15th, and whereas the annual celebration recognizes the diverse histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. And whereas this observation was first held in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was later expanded in 1988 by President Ronald Reagan. And whereas generations of Hispanic Americans have defended democracy along with this nation's liberty and freedoms throughout the world by serving in our armed forces, and whereas approximately 15.4% of Durham County's residents are of Hispanic or Latino descent, and more than 62 million Latinos contribute to communities across the country. And whereas our communities are made stronger when we recognize our diversity and work to honor, understand, and appreciate the history, achievements, art, music, cuisine, customs, unique traditions, and cultures of our friends, family, and neighbors who represent the Hispanic community. And whereas the theme for National Hispanic Heritage Month 2023 is Todos somos, somos uno. We are all, we are one, and is intended to emphasize both the diversity and unity of the Hispanic Latino population, as well as the indispensable role members play in shaping and enriching our American society. Now, therefore, I, Brenda Howerton, Chair, on behalf of the Durham Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim September 15th to October 15th, 2023 as National Hispanic Heritage Month in Durham County, and urge all residents to celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month by honoring generations of Hispanic residents who have made our nation strong and prosperous with their essential contributions to Durham County, North Carolina, and beyond. This, the 25th day of September, 2023.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, I would just say this was a beautiful proclamation. It had a lot in it to make us understand and recognize the meaning of this month. I was just looking into this a little more and read that the most updated census count of U.S. Hispanic population is actually 63.7 million Hispanic identifying people they make up our nation's largest racial or ethnic minority now at 19.1% as of July 2022. So, just all the more reason for us to recognize, embrace, and celebrate all of our neighbors and friends in this community who are of heritage.
Thank you, Commissioner Carter. See any hands? But this is one that is very special as well for me, that we honor the heritage that bring country. There's a lot to be celebrated. All right. So, Commissioners, we are down to our consent agenda. Okay. take it down? Mr. Jacobs, do you have your hand up or are you taking it down?
Well,
Which?
yeah, I just had a quick, just to piggyback on what Commissioner Carter shared, is that today more than 30% of our students in Durham Public Schools are, come from a Spanish-speaking homes and have a Hispanic heritage or Latinx heritage. So to her point, more than 14% of our population in Durham County is again Hispanic or Latinx. So this is really, really important that we celebrate this month and also find ways to, uh, as Commissioner Carter mentioned, keep working on making sure that everything we do is accessible and equitable. Thank you.
You, that statement, or we are one. We could take that on and live our lives that way, that we are one. Change the country, change the world. We are down to our consent agenda, and we have, anyway, we have one, don't have a large, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items. Are there any items that commissioners wish to pull?
It's okay.
Burns.
No, you're good. No, no,
Because
ma'am.
Commissioner Lum is up there on the
No.
picture.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
But with your permission, not to pull, but 30 seconds for a comment. That will not hold us
On
up.
which one?
732.
732.
Yes, a quick 30-second comment.
30 seconds.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to highlight our counties across the state are trying to figure out how to tackle affordable housing. They're trying to figure it out. That is not what this board is doing. This board is tackling affordable housing. A lot of times it is left up to cities to come up with some of these partnerships, and I just want to thank staff. I want to thank the manager. I want to thank the folks who have been coming to us with some of these really unique partnerships. My number could be off, so let me say that for the folks watching, but I feel like this board has done almost 2,000 units of affordable housing this year. Based on my calculation, I could be off with the partnerships we've had. So I'm just excited about this $3.5 million that we're putting forth to partner with other groups to do affordable housing. And lastly, for those of you all that did not see it last week, I, along with Mayor O'Neill and Councilwoman Freeman, were able to break ground on 132 units of housing in Northeast Central Durham. A lot of it is downtown, and I think we should have affordable housing downtown, because when downtown wasn't popping, they were fine with it. And now that DPAC's down there, they want to move folks out. But there is something to be said about having some geographical diversity, and I'm just happy that there's 132 units coming to my neighborhood. It is slated to be for 60% AMI and lower. I am over 30 seconds. I will stop. And
Yes.
also, it will have free internet for all its residents. So just know we're not just thinking about housing people. We want them to be successful in the house.
Okay, what I'm going to do, because what happens when you get into approving the consent agenda, when one of us start talking, then everybody wants to comment on it. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
And then, okay, thank you.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second to approve consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
If
Aye.
motion passes 5-0. Now, if you'd like to make comments regarding one of those items at this point, Commissioner Jacobs, I think you have your hand up. Want to do that?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to comment on the item around Hollow Rock Nature Park, and I also wanted to request, since these are items that weren't on our work session agenda and these are new, if the staff could really, the cooperative extension, just be able to inform the community about all the things that are involved with item 23-0163 because that is very exciting what Cooperative Extension is doing. But related to Hollow Rock Nature Park, I had to take a point of privilege personally because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I was involved in the formation of this park and also the master plan. And I just want to express my gratitude to the Penny family, Carolyn and Wade Penny, for this additional conservation easement that really increases the size of the park by 10%. And this is the first expansion of the park since it was formed in 2006. And honestly, the entire park would not even have been there without their generosity as landowners. And the park formed as a real partnership with the Penny family, with Triangle Land Conservancy, Durham County government, Durham City government, Orange County, and Chapel Hill. And I think it's a real model of, and also the Irwin Area Neighborhood Group, which I was chair of at that time, really came together along with our awesome staff, Jane Chorus and her team, who were successful in getting over $1 million of funding from the Clean Water Management Trust Fund and the Ecosystem Enhancement Program. This has become a very popular park for the community. People really love it. And now there are going to be more trails for people to enjoy. When you look at the map, you can see on the Durham County side, there is a lot of development around this park. And as we grow and as we approve our new comprehensive land use plan and are densifying these types of places for people to get out and get exercise and enjoy nature are only going to be even more important. And I also want to highlight the historic Hollow Rock store that you see when you come in to park there. There's a whole vision for, this is a former country store that was sitting in Jan Gregg, a potter's backyard, and had been moved there, but originally had been a country store. And you know, a lot of people in our community don't know what country stores really felt like or looked like. And so the plan is, and it's pretty intact inside, is to one day turn it into a museum and also give young people a chance to learn about the history of this area, where the Red Clay Ramblers played in that store. Richard Trice, who is a Black blues musician, lived nearby. He played there. So there's a really rich history, and there's just great potential for this park. And I'm just very grateful to the Penny family and to our staff for making this possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Did something that staff wanted to say? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. There was one thing I want to say about it's one on the 4-H. I want to thank staff for really working on this 4-H program, so vital for our young people. And I'm just real that you have taken that on and really increasing that program. So thank you. Want to go ahead? Say something about that?
Do I? It's on. Okay. Yes. Chair Houchin, Commissioners, Don Rewalt, County Extension Director. 4-H is one of the oldest youth development programs in the country, and it's also one of the largest. And I think a lot of us, think about 4-H in our grandparents or our parents' day, but we also think now about all the things that youth can benefit from in our community, whether it's computers, whether it's the out of doors, whether it's healthy living, whether it is learning how to access the path to college, becoming an entrepreneur, learning a new job skill. Such a range of things that our youth need. We know there's a crisis among our youth in mental health and in so many other things that you all certainly have lifted up on many occasions. And we are really excited about the use of these funds to further that kind of deep youth work in our community. One of the things I think it's great to highlight in Hispanic Heritage Month, the creation and bringing of a nationally recognized program, Juntos, to Durham County, which is a program that helps Latino families and youth in high school and middle school access kind of the path to graduation and a path to college. We will also be partnering with Durham Tech in this process, as well as NC State, where the program is based. And it will be very much a wraparound kind of program that has family education, but also opportunities for youth to access experiences with college and make those connections with their high schools and middle schools. So we're really excited about that. We've actually hired that staff person who will be getting started. We look forward to sharing that with you. The other part of this work is kind of expanding our health and wellness aspects around 4-H. We will have a program assistant who will also help support this work. Just in general, getting youth access to more pro-social activities. We've increased our camp outreach through this funding, as well as camp scholarships. So we're really going to be excited about sharing that more broadly next year. So whether it's residential camp, getting a week away from home can be a life-changing experience for almost any youth, but a youth who maybe has never had the opportunity to spend the time in that of doors or to be with their peers in that type of setting. It's really powerful. So we also will use those funds to help support scholarships for our day camps as well. So there's a myriad of other things that I could go on and on about, but I appreciate your support for youth, and I really look forward to you seeing this program, because it is definitely partially because you all are making this investment.
Thank you so much, Donna. You know, one of the things that is so evident, the manager, Commissioner Jacobs, and I were at Rotary recently, and we spoke there. And one of the things that came up for us was there's so many things that we do that the community just doesn't know about. And we just got to figure out more and more, how do we get the information out there to the community? And I know our van that we ordered will be another year or so before, will it be another year or so before we get that? You know?
6 to 8.
And what that is, when I say a van, will be a community van that will go out to the community where we can have these conversations. But we do so much when you talk about housing, affordable housing. I was just in DC. There were lots of conversation around affordable housing. National Association of Counties have a team of folks that they put together, a committee around affordable housing. So there's a lot happening around these issues, and it's just not affordable housing, the lack of, not just Durham, it's all over. I know we focus on Durham, but it's all over the country. Anything else for anyone? Okay, so now we are at our board and commission appointment. Attorney?
Yes, Madam Chair. So for tonight, we have several board and commission appointments. And from your voting, we have for the Audit Oversight Committee, the select individual is Manuel Rojas. For the Board of Adjustment, county resident position, selected Scott Mofield. For the Community Child Protection, Child Fatality Prevention Team, selected Ronell Hinton. For Durham Workforce Development Board, selected Raymond Trapp. For the Environmental Affairs Board, you've selected, if I'm mediation, Gitanjali Mori. And for the Library Board of Trustees, you've selected Tracy Jackson.
Thank you, Attorney. And congratulations to all the citizens that are appointed. We appreciate your service. We have over 40-some boards and commissions, so we thank you for your service, these boards. And anything else for the good of the board? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Aye.
All right.
I feel like to our neighborhood college
I
visitors, this
say
is
we
the
are
shortest meeting we've ever had.
Yeah. I said, we
Like,
are-
I'm kind of shell shocked, actually. It's
Come
like,
back
what?
every meeting to our neighborhood college.